In the cold silence of space, a massive colony ship drifted far from Earth. It was supposed to carry thousands of humans to a new star system. But something had gone wrong during the last jump. The engines had failed, and navigation was broken. Now the ship was lost, floating in the endless dark. Inside the ship, people woke from their cryo chambers. They expected to see a new home, a bright new world waiting. Instead, they found only fear and confusion. The maps showed no known stars, no way back to Earth. Families cried, children asked questions. But there were no answers. Captain Elias stood before the frightened colonists. His voice was strong, but his eyes showed worry. He said, "We are alive, and as long as we are alive, there is hope." The crowd listened, holding on to every word, but deep inside, doubt spread like a shadow. Days turned into weeks. The food storage was shrinking, water filters worked, but they could not last forever. Engineers tried to fix the broken jump drive, but nothing worked. The colony was trapped in a star system no one had ever seen. From the viewing deck, people stared at a strange sun. It was larger and redder than Earth's sun. Planets circled around it, some glowing with blue oceans, others covered in dark clouds. A strange signal echoed from one of the planets. It was not human. It was something alien. The scientists studied the signal. It was repeating like a heartbeat. Some thought it was a message. Others thought it was a trap. The captain called a meeting of the council. They argued if they should risk sending a scout ship to investigate. Many colonists begged to stay safe on the main ship. But hunger pushed them to take the risk. If they found no new food sources, they would all die. So a small team of explorers was chosen. They prepared their shuttle, hearts heavy with fear and hope. Among the team was Dr. Arya, a biologist. She dreamed of discovering new life, but she also feared the dangers that life could bring. Beside her was Marcus, a soldier, calm but scarred from Earth's wars. He promised to protect the team no matter what they faced. The shuttle left the colony ship as it flew toward the planet. The colonists watched from screens. The alien world grew larger, covered in green forests and silver rivers. But something else appeared on their sensors. Structures tall and sharp rising from the land below. The team gasped. It was not nature, it was civilization. Someone or something lived down there. The signal became stronger, clearer, like a voice calling to them. The humans felt a chill, as if the planet itself was aware of their arrival. The shuttle touched down near the edge of a forest. The air was thin but breathable. Strange plants glowed softly in the shadows. The team moved carefully, weapons ready, scanners active. Every step made the forest whisper with alien sounds. Dr. Arya collected samples. The plants bent as if they were watching her. Marcus kept his hand on his rifle. He whispered, "We are not alone here." And then, as if to answer, shapes moved between the trees. The explorers froze. Tall figures stepped into the light, their skin dark like metal. Their eyes glowed, their limbs long and sharp. The humans raised their weapons, but the captain's voice crackled in their ears. "Do not fire, wait, we need to know if they are friend or foe." The alien beings stood still. Then one of them lifted a hand, glowing symbols spread in the air. The signal that had echoed in space was coming from them. The explorers realized with shock. These aliens had been calling, waiting for humans to come. But why, no one knew. The colonists watching from the ship held their breath. Would this first meeting be the beginning of peace, or the start of a nightmare that would end humanity's last hope? The answer waited in the next moment as silence filled the alien world. The forest was silent, but the silence was heavy. The human explorers stood face to face with the alien beings. Neither side moved, neither side spoke. Only the strange, glowing symbols floated in the air like living fireflies. The humans felt both fear and wonder. Dr. Arya was the first to step forward. Her heart beat fast. But her curiosity was stronger than her fear. She raised her hand slowly, showing that she carried no weapon. Marcus shifted uneasily, his rifle ready but lowered. The aliens tilted their heads, watching every move like hunters studying prey. The tallest alien touched the air. The glowing symbols shifted, turning into shapes and sounds. It was a language, though unlike anything human ears had heard. The explorers' comms buzzed as the ship's computer tried to decode it. At first, it was nothing but static. Then a single word broke through: survive. The humans gasped. Had the alien just spoken their own tongue? Or was it only a trick of the translator? Either way, the meaning was clear. Captain Elias's voice came through the comms. Keep calm. Do not provoke them. Try to communicate. Dr. Arya nodded and spoke softly. We are survivors. We are lost. We need food. We need help. Her voice shook, but she held her ground. The alien stepped closer. Its eyes glowed brighter, reflecting the humans like mirrors. It raised a strange device and the symbols flickered again. This time the words were clearer. You are far. You are broken. You need. Marcus tensed. He did not trust the alien's calmness. But Dr. Arya felt something different. There was no anger in the alien's posture, only a strange interest, almost curiosity. Suddenly, more aliens appeared from the forest. Dozens of them, surrounding the humans. The explorers tightened their grip on their gear. The air was thick with tension. One wrong move could start a war. The aliens formed a circle. They hummed in low voices, their symbols dancing in the air. The ground seemed to vibrate with their sound. Then, slowly, they opened a path, pointing deeper into the forest. They want us to follow, Arya whispered. Marcus frowned. Or they want to lead us into a trap. But they had no choice. Their supplies were running out. The humans stepped carefully, guided by their alien hosts. Every colonist watching from the ship held their breath. The forest opened into a wide valley. There, the humans saw structures made of crystal and stone. Towers rose high, glowing with soft light. Bridges curved in the air like spider silk. The city was alive, yet silent. Alien children played near the rivers. They had smaller bodies but the same glowing eyes. They stopped and stared at the humans with innocent curiosity. For the first time, the explorers felt something different. This was not just a dangerous species, this was a people. The leader of the aliens raised his hand. He spoke again through the glowing device. You lost, you survive, we help, Dr. Arya's heart leapt. Could this be the hope the colony needed? But Marcus stayed sharp. He whispered, why would they help strangers? What do they want from us? The answer came soon. Inside a great hall of crystal, the aliens showed them carvings, images of stars, ships, and battles older than human history. The carvings showed humans, or something like humans, standing beside. The aliens in ancient times. Arya's eyes widened. Impossible. Humans never traveled this far, she whispered. Yet the carvings told another story. The alien leader pointed at the carvings, then at the explorers. The message was clear. The aliens had seen humans before, long ago, and now they believed the lost colony was part of a destiny returning. The explorers felt a mix of fear and hope. Were these aliens saviors or manipulators? Did they really want peace, or were they hiding darker plans? The colony ship waited above, listening. Every colonist's future hung on this fragile first contact. Then the alien leader spoke one final message. You live with us, or you die, alone. The words chilled the humans. They realized this was not only an offer of help, it was also a demand. The explorers returned to the shuttle with heavy hearts. Arya's mind raced with possibilities. Marcus clenched his fists, ready for battle if needed. Above, Captain Elias knew the hardest choice of his life had come. Would humanity trust the aliens and share a future, or refuse and face death in the endless dark? The explorers returned to the colony ship with heavy news. They told the council about the alien city, the glowing towers, and the strange offer. The aliens were willing to give food, water, and protection, but their help came with a price. They wanted the humans to live among them, not apart. The council chamber filled with voices. Some colonists shouted with excitement. Food and shelter meant survival. It meant life. Others shouted with fear and anger. Living with aliens meant losing control, losing their humanity. Captain Elias stood silent. His eyes scanned the tired faces of the colonists, mothers clutching their hungry children, soldiers holding back their anger, scientists whispering about ancient history and lost connections. Dr. Arya spoke to the council. They are not monsters. They are a people, like us. She explained the carvings of humans. In Alien Stone, she spoke about the strange feeling of recognition, that somehow humanity's story was already tied to theirs. But Marcus interrupted, his voice sharp and cold. They are not our friends. They are not family. They are strangers with power. He warned that dependence would make humans weak. If we live under them, we will never rise again. The council split into two sides. One side wanted to accept the aliens' offer. The other side wanted to resist, to stay independent. Tension grew inside the colony ship. Even friends turned against each other in heated arguments. Meanwhile, hunger grew stronger. Food stores were nearly gone. Children grew thin. Elders became weak. The colony had no time for endless debates. A choice had to be made. And soon, at night, Captain Elias walked alone through the corridors. He remembered Earth, the wars, the reasons they had left. He thought of the promise of building a new home. Now, instead of freedom, they faced another chain, but maybe that chain was the only way to survive. The next morning, the council gathered again. This time, the decision would be final. But before Elias could speak, a comms officer rushed in. Captain, the aliens are sending ships. They are coming here. The chamber froze in silence. Moments later, alien vessels approached. They were sleek and sharp, glowing like crystal birds. They did not fire, they did not threaten. They only circled the colony ship, watching with patient eyes. The message was clear. Time was up. Elias ordered a transmission. On the screen, the alien leader appeared. His glowing eyes were calm. His voice echoed through the translator. You decide now, with us or without us. His words carried both promise and warning. The council turned to Elias. Every face looked desperate, waiting for his command. Finally, the captain spoke. We will accept your help, but we will keep our people together. He tried to sound strong, but doubt lingered in his heart. The aliens sent food and water. For the first time in weeks, the colony ate well. Joy filled the halls. Laughter returned. But underneath the joy, whispers spread. What will they want in return? It did not take long for the answer. The aliens offered more than food. They offered knowledge, medicine, and technology. But they also spoke of something deeper. Your kind is weak. Your blood is fading. Join with us, grow strong. The words shocked the colonists. They realized the aliens did not only want to share their world, they wanted to mix their lives, their families, their very bloodlines. Dr. Arya listened in silence. Marcus clenched, his fists in rage. The council broke into chaos once again. Some said it was the only way to survive. Others called it betrayal, the end of humanity. The ship filled with fear. Would their children even look human anymore? But secretly something had already begun. One explorer had formed a bond with an alien, a bond that went beyond fear and distrust. Late at night, hidden from the others, they met in silence, hearts pulled by something forbidden. Dr. Arya discovered it first. She saw the way the human's eyes softened. She saw the way the alien's glowing hands lingered with care. Arya knew this was more than curiosity. It was the start of something that could change everything. She did not tell Marcus. She knew he would explode in fury. But she also knew the truth. If even one human and one alien could choose love over fear, then maybe survival was not just about food and water. It was about building a new kind of future. But what kind of future? No one knew. The colony stood at the edge of history. One step could save them or destroy them forever. And in the shadows, the forbidden bond grew stronger. Years passed since the first human steps on the alien world. The colony was no longer the same frightened group lost in space. They had farms, shelters, and strange alien machines that worked like magic. Food was plenty. Sickness was rare. Yet peace was mixed with unease. The council had allowed contact between humans and aliens. At first, it was only trade of food and tools. Then it became exchange of stories and songs. Slowly, friendships formed, and then something more. Dr. Arya was the first to announce it. She stood before the council holding a child in her arms. The child's skin was soft and human, but its eyes glowed like stars. It was the first hybrid, born of human and alien blood. The room fell into stunned silence. Some cried out in horror, "This is not human, this is the end of us." Others gasped with hope, "This is the future, the answer to survival." The child's cry echoed, small but powerful. Marcus stepped forward in rage. His voice thundered, "You have betrayed us. You have mixed what should never be mixed." But Elias silenced him. With a raised hand, the captain's gaze was heavy, torn between fear and wonder. The colony divided once more. One group embraced the hybrids, calling them a new beginning. Another group rejected them, calling them abominations. Fights broke out in the halls. Trust was breaking apart. Yet as more years passed, more children were born. Each hybrid carried something unique. Some had incredible strength. Some could heal faster than any human. Others had eyes that glowed in the dark, able to see what no one else could. The children grew quickly. They played together in the alien city and in the human camp. They laughed in two languages. They carried both human fire and alien calm. But they also carried mystery. Whispers spread through the colony. Some said the hybrids could read thoughts. Some said they could feel emotions not their own. At night, strange lights flickered where the children played, and people asked if these were gifts or curses. Dr. Arya believed they were hope. "These children are bridges," she said. "They are proof that life can adapt, proof that humanity will never fade." But Marcus warned of danger. "They are not human. One day they will rise against us." One evening, the hybrids gathered in the valley. They formed a circle, their glowing eyes shining in the dark. The air hummed with energy. Even the alien elders watched in silence. Something powerful was awakening. The ground trembled softly. Symbols of light appeared in the air, the same symbols the aliens had once used for language. But this time, they came from the hybrids, not from machines. The children spoke without words. Captain Elias watched with awe. He felt a shiver run through him. "These children are more than either human or alien," he whispered. "They are something new, something the galaxy has never seen." But whether that was a blessing or a curse, he did not know. The aliens bowed before the children. Their leader spoke in his calm, echoing voice. "The prophecy begins. The cycle returns." The humans exchanged fearful looks. "What prophecy, what cycle?" Arya demanded answers. The alien leader explained. "Long ago, our kind met yours among the stars. We mixed. We created life beyond either race, but war destroyed it. And the cycle ended." The hybrids looked at one another with innocent eyes. They did not yet understand the weight of destiny. But the humans did. If the past ended in war, what would the future bring? The colony faced a choice once again. Do they raise the hybrids as leaders, as the next step in evolution? Or do they fear them, control them, and risk repeating history? The council argued deep into the night, but no answer came. The future was already in motion. In the shadows of the alien city, Marcus spoke secretly with others who hated the hybrids. He whispered of rebellion, of taking back humanity's purity. He swore that he would not let the hybrids rule. His anger burned like a hidden fire. Meanwhile, Dr. Arya held her child close. She believed with all her heart that love, not fear, would guide the future. But even she felt the weight of uncertainty. The hybrids were changing faster than anyone expected, and soon, the galaxy would notice them. The hybrids had become the heart of the colony. Some humans loved them, others feared them. The aliens worshipped them as the return of an old prophecy. But deep in the galaxy, far beyond the red sun, other eyes were watching, and those eyes did not bring peace. It began with strange shadows in the night sky. Colonists saw flickers of light moving too fast to be stars. The alien elders grew uneasy. They whispered of old enemies, hunters from forgotten wars, enemies who followed destruction wherever they went. One morning, alarms rang through the colony ship. Unknown vessels appeared at the edge of the system. They were sharp, black like claws tearing through space. Unlike the crystal ships of the Allies, these ships radiated hunger. The captain's voice thundered across the ship. Prepare for defense. The predators had come. They sent no words, no signals, no peace offerings. They attacked without warning, raining fire upon the colony. Explosions shook the ground, crystal towers cracked. The red sky burned with falling ships. Marcus rallied the soldiers. Weapons blazed. Humans and aliens fought side by side. But the predators were fierce, stronger than anything they had faced. They moved like shadows, their armor black and alive. Every strike felt like fighting against death itself. The hybrids were caught in the chaos. Children cried. Mothers shielded them. But then something strange happened. One hybrid child lifted her hands, and a shield of glowing light appeared around her. The predator's weapons struck, but the shield held. Gasps filled the battlefield. The hybrids began to glow, their powers awakening in the fire of war. Some shielded, some struck with energy blasts. Others moved faster than human eyes could follow. The tide of battle shifted. Predators fell back in confusion. For the first time, they hesitated. The humans cheered, hope rising, but Captain Elias saw the truth. These predators were not surprised to see us, he said. They came because of us. The alien leader's face darkened. Yes, they follow your bloodline. They have hunted humans before, the council gasped. Dr. Arya felt a cold shiver. The predators were not new enemies. They had been chasing humanity since Earth's last war. The colony ship's records, broken and lost, had never told the full story. Now the truth was revealed in blood and fire. Marcus clenched his fists. This is what happens when we mix. When we depend on others, we only bring enemies closer. But Elias shook his head. No, this is not about mixing. This is about survival. They would have come no matter what. The captain's voice was steady, but fear burned in his eyes. The predators retreated. But everyone knew they would return. The battle was only the beginning. Scouts reported that the enemy had not left the system. They were waiting, circling like wolves. The hybrids became the center of every discussion. Some called them saviors, others called them a curse. But no one could deny their power. Without them, the colony would already be ashes. That night, the hybrids gathered again. They spoke in symbols of light, their glowing eyes filled with determination. Dr. Arya listened, but she did not understand the meaning. Still, she felt their courage. These children were ready to fight for a future they barely understood. In secret, Marcus met with his followers. He told them the hybrids were dangerous. He claimed they had attracted the predators. He whispered of a plan to cut them off before it was too late. His words spread like poison. Meanwhile, Elias prepared for the next attack. He ordered weapons ready, defenses built, but he also looked to the hybrids. He knew they were the colony's strongest chance. Even if their power frightened him, the alien leader warned Elias. The predators will not stop. They want to erase you. Only the hybrids can turn the tide, but their power will grow beyond your control. The captain's silence was heavy. The night sky glowed with enemy ships. The predators had returned, larger in number. The colony braced for war again. Humans, aliens, and hybrids stood together on the battlefield. The fate of the lost colony balanced on a knife's edge, and in the shadows, Marcus moved with his rebels. He had his own plan, to strike not only the predators, but also the hybrids. He believed it was the only way to save humanity's purity, but in truth it could destroy them all. The night sky burned with fire. Predator ships descended once more, black shadows blotting out the red sun. Their weapons struck with fury, shaking both the colony ship and the alien city. Sirens wailed. Families ran for cover, and for the first time humanity fought not only for survival, but for the future of their bloodline. Captain Elias stood at the command deck. His voice was calm but iron-heavy. All units, defend the colony. Hold your ground. Screens lit up with images of battle, humans, aliens, and hybrids standing side by side. The predators were merciless. They cut through defenses with deadly precision. Their bodies were like living armor. Their claws tore into walls and soldiers alike. Every strike felt like doom itself had arrived, but the hybrids fought back. Children no longer. Their powers had grown. Some hurled energy blasts that shattered predator armor. Others raised shields that saved entire squads. Their glowing eyes turned the night into a battlefield of light. Dr. Arya watched in awe and fear. She had dreamed of the hybrids as bridges between worlds. Now they were warriors born to fight. Every strike they made pushed back the predators, but each strike also changed how humans looked at them. They are too strong, Marcus hissed. From the shadows, he and his rebels moved. They did not fire at predators, they aimed their weapons at hybrids. Better to fall human than to live under monsters, he whispered. One rebel hesitated. Marcus, they are saving us. But Marcus's eyes burned with rage. They will replace us, he growled, and his first shot tore into the battlefield. A hybrid child screamed, collapsing under fire. The predators roared with cruel delight. They pushed harder, feeding on the chaos. Humans turned in confusion, unsure who was the real enemy. The line between ally and traitor blurred in the flames. Captain, Elias shouted in fury. Stop them. Protect the hybrids. But his voice was drowned in the roar of war. Predators surged forward. Marcus's rebels spread their betrayal. The colony was tearing apart from within. Yet the hybrids did not falter. Their eyes glowed brighter than ever. They stood over fallen humans and shielded them. Even when those same humans had doubted them, they fought not for revenge, but for survival of all. Dr. Arya rushed to the battlefield. She shielded wounded hybrids with her own body. She cried out to Marcus, Look at them, they are your children too. But Marcus only raised his weapon again. Before he could fire, a predator leapt. It struck him down, claws ripping across his chest. His rebels scattered in fear. Marcus fell choking on his own anger, and in his dying breath he cursed the hybrids. The battle raged for hours. Blood and fire painted the valley. The predators pressed hard, but the hybrids pressed harder. Their powers sang like thunder across the field, until at last the enemy began to break. One final push, a storm of light from dozens of hybrids. The predators' ships cracked, their bodies burned. Those who survived fled back into the dark. The battlefield fell silent except for the cries of the wounded. Victory was theirs, but it came at a heavy cost. Hundreds lay dead, human and alien. Alike, even some hybrids had fallen, their glowing eyes dim forever. The colony mourned but also trembled, for the survivors had seen the truth. Without the hybrids, humanity would have been erased. But now the hybrids were stronger than any, human or alien. Children no longer, they were leaders, warriors, legends in the making, and that frightened everyone. Captain Elias stood before the council, his voice weary, his body wounded. The hybrids saved us, without them we are nothing. But whispers spread. If they are stronger than us, will they even need us? Dr. Arya cradled her child. She knew the future had changed forever. No longer was the question survival. The question was control. Would the hybrids rule beside humans or above them? The alien leader bowed before the hybrids. The prophecy is fulfilled, he declared, but his voice carried weight and warning. Prophecies do not end, they begin. And everyone knew a greater storm was still to come. Above the broken sky, the stars watched in silence. The predators had fled, but they would return. And when they did, they would not face just humans. They would face something new. A bloodline. Born of war, light and shadow. The battlefield lay quiet after the storm. Smoke rose from broken towers and shattered ships. The ground was scarred, but life still pulsed. Humans, aliens, and hybrids stood together, exhausted yet alive. The predators were gone, but their shadow remained. Captain Elias looked across the valley. His people had survived another war, but survival was no longer the only question. He saw the hybrids, glowing with strange power, and he wondered if they were humanity's children or something entirely new. Dr. Arya cradled her child in her arms. The little one's eyes glowed like twin stars, she whispered. You are hope. But she also felt fear, because hope could grow into danger if not guided well. The council gathered, their faces worn from grief and doubt. Some praised the hybrids as saviors. Others whispered of their strength, fearing it was too great. The chamber rang with arguments louder than ever before. "They are our future," said one voice. "They are the end of us," shouted another. Elias raised his hand. "For silence, without them we would already be dead." "That is the truth," he said. "But truth does not erase fear." Outside the council chamber the hybrids gathered. They no longer played like children. They stood together, silent and united. Their glowing eyes reflected the red sun. Their presence was heavy, like leaders waiting for destiny. The alien elder approached Elias. He bowed deeply. "The cycle has begun again," he said. "Your kind and ours are no longer separate. Together, you have created what the galaxy cannot." "Ignore," Elias asked. "What do you mean?" The elder's voice was grave. "The predators were only the first wave. Others will come, drawn to the light of your hybrids. They will come to destroy, or to claim them." Fear spread through the council. Humanity was no longer invisible, no longer lost. The hybrids had made them strong, but also made them targets. The galaxy would know their name. Whether as allies, enemies, or conquerors, Dr. Arya stood and spoke. "We cannot undo what has been done. These children exist. They are ours. We must raise them with love, not fear. Only then can they guide us, not rule us." But Marcus's old followers hissed from the shadows. "They are not ours. They will never be ours. They will outgrow us. They will leave us behind." And though Marcus was gone, his hatred still lingered. Seeds of rebellion whispered through the colony. Meanwhile, the hybrids themselves began to change. They spoke less with words, more with glowing symbols. They shared thoughts with each other without sound. They dreamed of places beyond the stars, as if something was calling them far away. One night the hybrids climbed the crystal towers. Their voices rose together in a song no human understood. The sky shimmered with strange light. Stars seemed to bend and answer. The colonists watched, in awe and terror. "What are they becoming?" whispered Elias. Dr. Arya placed a hand on his arm. "They are not just human, not just alien," she said. "They are the bridge. They are the next step." Her voice carried both pride and sorrow. Days turned into months. The colony rebuilt stronger than before, but everything had changed. Children with glowing eyes filled the halls, and the future belonged more to them than to their parents. Then one morning the signal came, a faint echo across the stars. It was human, not alien. The lost colony had been found by Earth. For the first time in decades, their old home had answered. The council erupted in celebration, but Elias's face darkened. "What will Earth see when they look at us?" he asked. "Will they see family or something alien?" No one had the answer. When Earth's message arrived, it was cautious. "Identify yourselves, we are listening." The colonists hesitated. Do they tell Earth the truth that humanity was no longer pure? The hybrids stood before the council. Their leader, no longer a child, stepped forward. Her eyes glowed brighter than the red sun. "We will speak," she said calmly, "because we are human too." Dr. Arya's heart swelled with pride. Elias lowered his head, knowing the choice was no longer his. The hybrids had claimed their place, not as weapons, not as monsters, but as the voice of the colony itself. The message was sent. We are the lost colony. We are human, but we are more. Silence followed as Earth received their words. The colonists waited, hearts heavy with hope and fear, and the stars seemed to lean closer, listening, whatever Earth's answer would be. The colony knew their destiny was no longer in hiding. They were no longer just survivors. They were a new people, born of struggle, born of war, and their legacy would shape the galaxy forever.